Carlos De Oliveira has been charged alongside Trump for allegedly mishandling classified documents, government documents, after leaving the White House. Prosecutors claim De Oliveira attempted to delete surveillance footage at the Palm Beach Club after the Justice Department looked to obtain it. He did not enter a plea today because he has not secured local counsel just yet.
Trump, however, denies that security footage was ever deleted, writing over the weekend the tapes were not deleted. They were voluntarily handed over. Then he went on to say that he, quote, never told anybody to delete them, calling the claims prosecutorial fiction and misconduct. NBC News investigative correspondent Tom Winter joins us now. Tom, what can Morkie tell us about De Oliveira and really what the attempts were to allegedly thwart federal investigators?
Right. So his first appearance today is just an opportunity to be brought in front of the judge and for the judge to say, hey, you're aware that you've been charged with this, right? You have a right to have a counsel and to discuss any potential bail or release. And for a nonviolent crime like this, he's going to be let out on bail. So that's just kind of the first initial step. Hey, you've been charged. You're aware of that, right? So that's where things stood in court today. And at some point soon, he'll be able to enter a plea. As far as the overarching allegations to your question, Morgan, it's really focused on what is alleged to have been an attempt to discuss, at a minimum discuss, whether or not surveillance tapes, which may have captured these storage documents being moved back and forth from a storage space to other parts of Mar-a-Lago, some of them, according to prosecutors, containing classified documents and information. Was there an attempt to delete that video, surveillance video, that was lawfully requested by subpoena immediately after that subpoena came in? And so there's, in the indictment, there's a whole series of communications and what has been described to investigators and prosecutors as some dialogue back and forth involving other employees of the Trump organization. And so the question now is, how much did this come to fruition? Was anything actually damaged? We don't know that yet. But just this discussion that it's occurring, prosecutors say, is enough to say you broke the law.
When we're talking about the former president and indictments and or potential indictments, it can be difficult to keep track because there are so many different buckets. The one you're talking about is the special counsel investigation into his perhaps alleged mishandling of classified documents. On top of that, there was the case in New York where he's already been indicted. Then there's the inquiry in Georgia related to possible election interference, as well as the special counsel also looking into the events surrounding January 6th and election interference potentially in 2020. What's going on with those two other cases? One we've been watching closely for a possible indictment. The other, the DA in Fulton County in Georgia, seems to be making some progress.
Well, exactly right. And as a matter of fact, over the weekend, she told our NBC affiliate there in Atlanta that we're ready to go. We've done our investigation. We're ready to start presenting this case. Previously, she had said that she had hoped to make any charging decisions by September 1st. So the clock is actually running there. We don't know whether it's going to be today or tomorrow. We haven't seen any imminent activity today, but that's something that's definitely front and center on the president's radar. And that's very specific to Georgia, as you would imagine, and a potential call, or actually a call that we know of, between the former president while he was then at the White House and Georgia's Secretary of State, Raffensperger. So that's something that they're keeping an eye on there, as well as any other potential efforts to interfere with that election. It's very Georgia specific. Those are state charges. The federal investigation being led, as you said, Jack Smith and the special counsel, that's focused on January 6th and the events surrounding that. That's something where we know Trump's attorneys have met with Jack Smith's office about. And so the question here going forward is, and of course the former president's received a target letter, it seems to be more of a when and not if question there. But that timing we don't yet have. Again, two major issues right in front of the president.
When and not if, with the clock ticking and an election looming in the background. Tom Winter for us there. Tom, thank you.
You got it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.